to know what's going on in Southeast Europe. But in particular, I would like to mention the Council of Europe. As a matter of fact, these days there is a sports ministers meeting in Athens, in Greece, and they are trying to define the future role of sport in the Council of Europe, which, as you know, is a bigger entity than the European Union. They are also focusing on sport. They are also saying we need the grassroots sport to deliver on citizenship, on youth issues, and on health issues. So here's another organization that wants to support activities, and we should take those opportunities. You know, the second half of 2008 in the European Union has been led by the French. They have the presidency of the Union for this period, and one of the areas of focus, and my friend from France can testify to this, has been the desire to set up a special union of countries and of activities in the Mediterranean. That means the countries that are bordering to the Mediterranean Sea. Now, not all of your countries are bordering to that, but to me this is a potential new partner for you as well, because they will have an interest again in civil society issues, and they will have funding that we can try and apply for, and we are very much in contact with them now to find out what our possibilities could be and what your possibilities could be. So this will be a new opportunity for us. We know now that the main seat of this union will be in Barcelona, in Spain, and we have good contacts and good partners in Barcelona to help us achieve those goals. So again, institutions are looking to countries in this region to find out what are the challenges, how do they affect us, and how can we contribute to the challenges in your countries. I would like to say that it's not only governmental institutions and intergovernmental institutions that are looking at your countries. I'm glad to see that we have representatives here, also from Sport for All organizations outside the Southeast European region. We have Paolo from Italy, and we have Jean-Claude from France. We have a delegation from Denmark as well. And there are more organizations. They want to know what are your interests, what do you want to do in the world of Sport for All on an international level. And ISCA, I hope, can be the facilitator of that contact to match your organizations with other organizations in the world of Sport for All. They want to know what you can do. They want to know what partnerships you are interested in, and you should take the opportunity to talk to them. Let me take this opportunity also to say that I think it's a very positive signal that we have an interest in the cooperation in Southeast Europe from those countries, from Italy, France and Denmark and others. We have the representatives from the Danish embassy as well. And it's very important for me to say as a message that people are waiting for us. They are ready for partnerships, and we should find out what do we want to do together to present to them opportunities for cooperation in the future. Well, the third part of my presentation then is very difficult for me to speak about, because now I'm trying to say something about you, and it's always difficult because I don't know you as well as you know yourselves. But here is some perspectives from my side on Southeast European countries and organizations' interests in the rest of the world. I said already a lot about the societal challenges. We have health, integration, environment, and those challenges, I think, are not on a regional level or national level only. They are international challenges. My question to you is, do you want to work on them, on those challenges, and do you want to work on them on the right level, that is, the international level? The environmental challenge and the integration challenge, the question of migration of people from country to country, is not a national issue, it's an international issue. And your organizations can be part of meeting that challenge if you want. You can also focus on yourselves, but you can choose your focus. I'm sure that the financial situation in your countries, as well as the rest of the countries in Europe and the rest of the world, are going to be a major focus for all of us in the future. In my opinion, the world of sport for all has a fair expectation to be supported by governments, and so far they have received some support, some more than others. But we have also seen the challenge of the sports sector being divided, in my opinion, in two. The focus on the professional sport and the elite sport, and the focus on the sport for all. And I think the amount of money that goes into the total sports sector in the future will not go up. It may even go down because of the financial situation. I see another challenge inside the sports sector, because more and more attention is directed toward the elite sport and the professional sport. This is where you also have media attention, and I think that the financial means could also very well go in that direction if we don't make sure that people understand the value of the sport for all sector. So this is a challenge, I think, in your countries as well, and we need to make sure to address that on the right level again. In my opinion, that level is international. In ISKA, we would like to say to your governments and to international bodies, what is the role of the Sport for All organizations? Why should you support them and not just support the elite sports? You know, we've had the Olympic Games now in Beijing, and all the countries, almost all the countries, when they've been to an Olympic Games, they go home, the sports sector go home to their countries and say, we won a lot of medals, we have to have more money to make sure we can keep on winning more medals. Some of them, they say, we didn't win any medals, we need more money to win more medals. So if they win, they want more money. If they lose, they want more money. So there's a pressure on the Sport for All, and I think it's fair to say that the elite sports sector has its role. It should continue to have its role, but we should also be focusing on getting the attention to the world of Sport for All. I will just show you this little illustration. This is what I've been talking about already now. And 2 weeks ago, the president of ISKA and myself, we went to the European Union Sports Forum. This is where 300 stakeholders in the world of sport come together to discuss the international challenges in sport. And ISKA, for the first time, had the potential, the invitation to speak to the EU Sports Forum. And this is some of the things that the president was saying. Namely, what I present to you, that the pyramid of sport may not be one pyramid anymore. The elite sport is going in one direction, not so many people engaged, but a lot of political and financial and media attention. And a big section, the world of Sport for All, where it gets to be increasingly difficult to get attention and financing, and the link between Sport for All and elite sport is not very clear anymore. As a matter of fact, the director of sport in the European Commission, Mares, he said that he was certain that the solidarity inside the sport movement was declining. This is a very important signal. That means that we have a challenge in the world of Sport for All. What to do about it? We can wait and hope for the best, or we can proactively try to say to the Commission, we need you to help us address this challenge of decreasing solidarity. I think those signals from ISCA to the Sports Forum was important. They were received by some with a smile and by some with a frown. And that's a clear signal that you said something interesting. We have several organizations that want to work with ISCA now to address those challenges, and I hope you will also be part of that work. So again, looking at your perspective, you are the best person to tell me what you can get out of international cooperation. But I would like to mention some possibilities here. If you are interested in the work in ISCA and outside ISCA, international cooperation, you will have more offers to your individual members and your clubs. We have here also representatives from the youth sector. They are going to speak more later. But in my opinion, the possibility for you to take the offers inside and outside the ISCA umbrella for international cooperation and youth meetings, etc., gives your individual members opportunities to learn more and to be more active and to contribute to your organizations. We will hear more about that later, and I look very much forward to that. I hope and think that if you engage in partnership in the region of Southeast Europe, but also in your countries with other countries outside the region, it will increase your visibility. You can say to your governments and to your clubs and your stakeholders, we are active not only inside our countries but also internationally, and we have support and we have the interest from other countries as well. And the third point, a very overall point, is I think it's important to always look in the mirror and look at yourself. What is my organization about? But to develop your own organizations, you have to have somebody else next to you. You have to compare, and you have to learn from other organizations. And I hope that this meeting will be an opportunity to share experiences and to learn. But also in the ISCA umbrella, there are many other opportunities to learn. In financial management, in project management, management of facilities, developing of activities in the individual sports, and developing of exchanges internationally. So I hope the work and the projects that we do together are not only good for the participants, but they are also good to develop your organizations for the future. I would like to say that some of the things that I'm presenting today, I say only a few words about some very big issues, and especially the documents that I've talked about that I think could be of interest to you. I would like to send you those documents electronically or in hard copy so that you can also look for yourself and find out what is relevant for me here. And I mention that because at the EU Sports Forum we also received an update on how far has the Commission gone to fulfill the goals of the white paper. What have they actually concretely done? And I'm happy that they're very concrete and specific, and they're doing relevant actions. I don't have the time to go into those details now, but I would like to share those actions with you and send you the information so that you can look at it more yourselves. I can go to the conclusion then, and basically there's a very important signal for me, which is if we want to work together and if we want to get support for our work from external resources, we have to have a platform.